Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. I'm excited to share today's video with you. We are going to do a small DIY on my kitchen island, and then we're going to be cooking up some chicken stir fry with a homemade sauce. So we will be jazzing up the look of this area right here that wraps around the island. Right now you can see it's just sturdy, and that's because it's that builder grade, like that flat matte paint. But we are going to make it look way better and spruce it up on a budget. So we are just going to be covering the island with this beadboard. I got it on Amazon and it is made by Graham and Brown. It is a paintable wallpaper. The roll is huge, and what's good about this is that it has its own glue on the back and it's activated by water. And it gives your space the look of wainscoting for a really affordable price. So I'm just starting off by giving the area a really good scrub. I'm just using Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface cleaner and using my electric scrub brush. I got it on Amazon and it's called a shower scrubber, but it breaks down really short, and I also use it to clean my sink and my stove as well. The items I used for this project was a pencil, scissors, tape measure, a level, a towel, and the wallpaper smoothing tool or squeegee. I measured about an inch longer than the island measured just to be safe, so we could trim off the rest later. And now I'm just using Dawn Power Wash to give my sink a good scrub down before I fill it with water. So the instructions say to immerse in water for 30 seconds. Then when you fold it in half, it's supposed to activate the glue, and then you let it sit for 5 minutes. I, however, found myself being impatient, so it was probably more like 1 minute, but it still worked just fine. So a little backstory about me in this house. My husband is in the Air Force and we just moved to Tucson last December. So we've been here about 7 months and we'll probably be here for about 3.5 years. We did buy this house and I do plan on doing a lot of DIYs, just nothing too crazy since this isn't going to be our forever home. Here is my sweet baby girl, Chanel. She is such a lover. Oh my gosh, she is my bestest friend and she loves me so much. Here in Tucson, it is monsoon season, and I don't know if you can tell by the lighting, but it is starting to get dark out. It's thundering a little bit, and she is a Chihuahua. Bless her little heart. She shakes and gets so scared with every single storm. So I went ahead and measured, cut, and activated the glue on 3 more pieces.
Put your hands to the sky if you catching a vibe. We ain't gonna stop for nothing. Yeah, you can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go all night long. The look in your eyes, you can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you.
I just want to talk for a minute about what I would do differently if I had to do it over. I lined up the top of it all nice and pretty, thinking that I would just go back with a knife and trim up the bottom. I watched some videos and that's what everyone else did, and it looked simple enough, but for some reason that just wasn't the case for me. I even let it dry all day for hours and hours and put brand new blades into my X-Acto knife. So instead of lining up the top and trimming the bottom, I would do the exact opposite. I would line up the bottom part perfectly, and then if I had any extra that needed to be trimmed, it would be up under the island where no one could see it. I stood all the way across in the living room, and you just can't see underneath there from anywhere. So that's my number 1 advice to any of you guys wanting to try this.
Turn that music up, you know we don't give a what. On our way, yeah, we're on our way. Pull up to the party like my name is the life. Tension so thick, you could cut with a knife. Ask me how I do that, been fly since way back. Ask me how I do that, yeah. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go on.
As you can see, I'm kind of struggling with this piece here, but it is easy enough to just pull off and then stick it back on and pull off and stick it back on. It's really, really forgiving. So in just a few seconds, you are about to see my camera move. I'm pointing this out because I know my camera is on a tripod, so imagine my surprise when I'm trying to edit this video that I see a camera move, and I was confused at first, but it didn't take me long to realize that it was my iRobot. It had bumped into the tripod, and I think this view is actually a little better. No stress, though they're waiting. I keep them waiting. Makeup on fleek, high heels, ripped jeans, they're all waiting. I'm on my way. Looking in the mirror at myself like who that? Swag on 1,000 and my girls got my back. We just won the party. Call me tequila. Tip number 2 would be to take all of the outlet covers off in any areas that have them before putting the beadboard over top. Then all you have to do is cut around it as best you can, but in no way does it need to be perfect, because you're just going to cover back up the part that you just cut, and no one will know if it was straight or not. And my husband actually helped me do this on both sides.
Turn that music up, you know we don't give a what. On our way, yeah, we're on our way. Pull up to the party like my name is the life. Tension so thick, you could cut with a knife. Ask me how I do that, been fly since way back. Ask me how I do that, yeah.
So if we didn't let it dry for a long time, it would tear when we tried to trim it. But when we did let it dry for a while, it wouldn't tear, but it was coming off in 2 layers. The top part of the beadboard came right off, but the backing stayed glued and stuck to the wall trim. I just went over it with a sponge and it came right off. And if you just took your time and cut a little bit at a time, it came off a lot better than trying to do large sections at a time. So this is Charlie. He's gonna be 12. He is a Dachshund poo. And here comes Chanel. She is Chihuahua, and we think she's about 7.5. And here comes Jax. He is a Chiweenie, and he's going to be 10 years old. Alright guys, so here's an overview of how the island turned out. I may end up painting the beadboard white just to help keep it looking cleaner. This house was only 1.5 years old when we bought it, but the other owners were definitely rough on the walls and baseboards and stuff. But anyways, I think it turned out really nice, and I'm glad I decided to give it a try.
No stress, though they're waiting. I keep them waiting. Makeup on fleek, high heels, ripped jeans, they're all waiting. I'm on my way. Looking in the mirror at myself like who that? Swag on 1,000 and my girls got my back. We just won the party, call me tequila shawty.
So now we are heading over into the kitchen for the dinner portion of this video. Tonight we are cooking up some chicken and stir fry with white rice, pot stickers, and egg rolls. I like to buy a bag of the pre-made frozen broccoli stir fry and veggies, and then cut up and add what other extra veggies we want to it. And on this night, I added some carrots, mushrooms, and extra broccoli. I'm not a fan of carrots and my husband hates mushrooms, so I only added a little bit of each. I mean, it's all about that compromise, right?
Turn that music up, you know we don't give a what. On our way, yeah. We're on our way, yeah. Pull up to the party like my name is the life. Tension so thick, you could cut with a knife. Ask me how I do that, been fly since way back. Ask me how I do that, yeah. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go all night long. The look in your eyes, you can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you on. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it.
For this recipe, I used 2 large chicken breasts, and I cut them into pretty small pieces. When I'm cutting vegetables or preparing food, I like to put a bowl in front of me. It acts as like a garbage bowl or a trash bowl, and you can just throw everything you need to in there, and it keeps you from having to walk back and forth to the trash can 1,000 times.
I know I turn you on. Hands to the sky if you feelin' a vibe. We ain't gonna stop for nothing.
I cooked the chicken in just a little bit of oil. I added some salt and pepper, and then just cooked it until it was no longer pink. And when it's almost done, I'm just taking it out of the pan, putting it on a plate, and setting it to the side.
I keep them waiting. Makeup on fleek, high heels, ripped jeans, they're all waiting. I'm on my way. Looking in the mirror at myself like who that? Swag on 1,000 and my girls got my back. We just won the party, call me tequila shawty.
I love making my own stir fry sauce. I like to use a large jar with a lid for this. You don't have to, but the reason I like using a jar is because all you have to do is add all the ingredients in, close up the lid, and just give it a really good shake before you take it over to the stove and add it to your vegetables and chicken. Another reason I like putting it in a jar is because you can pre-make this sauce at any time. You can make it earlier that day, even a few days before, or just whenever is convenient for you. I'm going to insert a recipe right here and a list of some things that I think you'll need for this dinner. So you can pause it to write it down or take a screenshot or just come back and look at it at any time. I'm not sure how many of you cook with ginger or keep ginger on hand. I don't cook with it all that often, so whenever I do need it, I'm finding myself with ginger that's gone bad or that I have no ginger at all. So I started putting mine in the freezer in just a canning jar. And when you take it out to peel it and cut it, it peels and cuts exactly the same as if it wasn't frozen, and it stays fresh for like forever.
Put your hands to the sky if you catching a vibe. We ain't gonna stop for nothing.
And of course, you can use low sodium soy sauce or low sodium chicken broth, or you can add things like crushed red pepper flakes or sriracha or sweet chili sauce to make your sauce more spicy. And you will find that all the cornstarch and honey stick to the bottom, so you just got to give it a really good shake when you've got everything in there, and then you'll just want to give it another shake before you add it to your vegetables and chicken. Now we are just adding some rice into the Instant Pot. That's my favorite way to cook rice because it does it perfectly, and we will set the timer and wait on that.
Body dressed to impress, no stress, though they're waiting. I keep them waiting. Makeup on fleek, high heels, ripped jeans, they're all waiting. I'm on my way, yeah. Looking in the mirror at myself like who that? Swag on 1,000 and my girls got my back. We just won the party, call me tequila shawty. We just won the party, yeah, yeah. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it.
Y'all are never gonna believe what I just remembered right about here. While filming this video, I remembered a while back I found a wok at Home Goods and it was at a super good price, and it suddenly dawned on me that I had bought one. So I went to go grab it, and now I'm just transferring everything over to it. And as you can see right here, this recipe made a lot. Like, we don't even need to add the egg rolls or the pot stickers, but it just makes the meal so much more healthier, right? So here's where I'm just going to give our sauce another little shake and pour it in so we can get all the honey and especially the cornstarch off the bottom, because the cornstarch is what's going to help your stir fry sauce thicken.
Hands to the sky if you feeling a vibe. We ain't gonna stop for nothing. Put your hands to the sky if you catching a vibe. We ain't gonna stop for nothing. Yeah, you can bring your friends, we won't mind it. You can bring, we just came to dance and go all night
And of course, you can add more or less of anything to make it accommodating for your family's taste. Like for the ginger and the garlic, those are more acquired tastes in my opinion, so I don't even measure those. And you can also account for the amount of people that are going to be eating. There are 4 of us, and you saw how much this made, and there was more than enough, but we love our leftovers.
Body can dress to impress, no stress, though they're waiting. I keep them waiting. Makeup on fleek, high heels, ripped jeans, they're all waiting. I'm on my way, looking in the mirror at myself like who that.
I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel so you won't miss any videos. I'm very excited to be filming all of my mini fall, Halloween, and Christmas upcoming videos. There's going to be tons and tons of holiday decorating, tablescapes, and recipes. Thanks again so much. Bye.
You can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you